Writer and director Ashley K. Writer and director Ashley K. What's up, everyone? This is your girl Ashley K-A-Y. Ashley K, y'all. That's right, Ashley K, K-A-Y.
Hey, freestyle, but I'm not a rapper.
Your plan from the start?
Don't put this off on me. You fired me, remember? It's like, for those brief moments in time, all my stress seems to go away. It is not okay for you to slide into her DMs after.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Flawless Dreams Radio with your girl, LeeLee, the goddess, and
Lizzie.
That's right, Lizzie Smith, the one and only, the beautiful, the gorgeous. Okay, my lovely co-host. We're going to welcome the lovely Ashley K today with us.
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, beautiful?
I'm fabulous. How you ladies doing?
Doing good.
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Go ahead and shoot your introduction, everybody.
Well, I'm Ashley K. That's Ashley K-A-Y. I am an actress, writer, director, producer, all-around filmmaker. I host from time to time. I am a comedian on the low sometimes. But I am a Scorpio, too. The best sign that's out there. Sorry, but I just had to say that.
Everybody says that. That's okay. Everybody says that. Everybody, it's okay. It's okay. Show some love, everybody. Show some love. We got a Capricorn and a Sagittarius. What's up? And a Scorpio.
Yes.
So you know that this is gonna be funny and not a dull moment.
I'm looking forward to it. So, what's up? What are we talking about?
So where can people find you on social media? Shoot it one more time just in case anybody missed it.
Yes, so social media, you can find me on Facebook at Ashley K-A-Y or on Instagram at That's Ashley K-A-Y. And then I also have my productions page, which is just got rebranded to K88 Productions. And that's K Productions 88, K-A-Y Productions 88 on Instagram.
Come through. Nice. Get it right, y'all. Get it right. Come through. I got a question that's very important because I think that this is something that everybody needs to know about. You have a film that's coming out.
Yes.
What's it called?
It is called Forgive Us Not. So it actually was released last year, and it just got selected to be in the Detroit Black Film Festival this year, 2022, which will be showcasing September 24th, I believe, at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History down in Detroit, Michigan. So I'm very, very excited about this. This was a process that with this film, it actually was kind of like a turning point in my creative career, let's just say, because for the past couple of years, I pretty much have just kind of been going through this whole like revolving and rebranding of myself, not only from the outside, but more so for the inside too. So I'm pretty excited about this film being showcased. There it is.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah. No. I meant to do that so that you can get time to really like we could focus in on the film and everybody can see
Okay.
what the cover looked like, so that when they go looking for this film, they know how to find it, where to locate it at, and so yeah, I did that on purpose, y'all. I did that on purpose.
Okay.
I gotta get my co-hostess back on the screen here. But yeah, that way you get a chance to really explain what the film is about, and so and people can see what it looks like and what, yeah, where to go find it.
Yes. So, quick description of the film. It's basically a short. It's about 20 minutes long. This is actually derived from a very short play that I wrote that was a part of a program through Black and Brown Theater called Our Voices. So yes, Forgive Us Not originally started on the stage, and it was performed on my birthday back in 2019 at the famous Old Redford Theater. So this details about a student, a recent college student named Omar Rutherford, who discovered the underground Black Force. This leader, Sharif Rafa, who basically recruits him to be a part of this organization to help the Black community and also to combat racial discrimination and white supremacy. But there's a test that takes place or goes down that can pretty much jeopardize that. So of course you would have to, find out. But not only is it playing at the festival, you can actually watch it now on SDM Flix, which is a new Black owned subscription streaming service. So SDM Flix is where you can actually check that out at now.
Well, okay. I will be checking
I
that
like
out.
that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like
Yeah.
that. I hope that everybody heard that and they go and they peep this film. I got another question. How many years have you been acting?
So I discovered my passion for wanting to do it seriously and actually take it serious in the 8th grade. So I would probably say I was 13. It was like 2001 going into 2002. I didn't get a chance to hone my craft until I went to school, which my alum, Saginaw Valley State University, woo woo, go Cards. So I would say it's been about 14, 15 years. A little bit more than that probably, but it's around that time.
That's a long time. That's a long time to commit to the craft. That is very long time.
And it hasn't always been easy because I've had my moments where I'm just like, okay, am I going to just go ahead and just, but I knew this is what I was called to do. So it wasn't no way I could walk away from it, no matter how hard things got.
Is it like a hobby for you or this is career? Sorry,
oh, this is
you
career.
Go next.
This is definitely a career because it's like it's always on my mind 24/7. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, where I'm at. If an idea comes to my mind, or I think about a project that I was a part of recently, and then I'll just be like, man, I wish I could have done it that way. This, that, and the third. Or I'm always reading up on the craft and how I can improve, or even just hearing from other famous actors and things that they went through along their journey. And a lot of them pretty much also said the same thing as far as like what kept them going is that they did not give up. So it always keeps me encouraged and inspired to continue because it's something major is about to happen. So I believe that to be so. And that's exactly why I'm continuing to grind the way that I grind.
Nice. So my question for you, Ashley K, would be: is there one particular person that inspired you to act?
The very first one that I can actually remember would be
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Williams.
Okay.
So yes, she is just a phenomenal woman because not only does she act, she sings, she did Broadway, she's done film, television. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would say it was the commercial. It was for Stomping at the Savoy. I don't know if you guys remember that film that came out in the early '90s. But it was her, Lynn Whitfield, Jasmine Guy, Vanessa Bell Calloway, Mario Van Peebles. But I love that film. And when I saw her, it was just like, Mommy, I want to be like her. And so then, of course, as I grew, you have people like Robert Townsend, that was also a big, huge inspiration. One of my favorite films of all time, The Five Heartbeats.
Mm-hmm.
Love that film. And even Denzel, which everybody loves Denzel. So him, people like Viola Davis, Robert Downey Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
even Chadwick, rest in peace.
Hey, love those
That,
names.
yes, I
Yeah.
freaking love that, man. I'm drawn to very, very, very passionate creators and actors who they just pretty much they bear their souls into every project that they do.
Right. Right. That's nice. That's
Yes.
good. So, what would you say to somebody right now who said, "You know what? I want to get into acting." What would you suggest?
I say go for it. Start to write out any ideas or even list goals that you want to make for yourself as an artist and the things that you want to achieve. Like, okay, I want to get into this acting class, or I want to be able to be a part of a film or do two films like once a year, stuff like that. And it doesn't even matter how big or small the goal is, but as long as you keep that in mind and pretty much just kind of say it out loud, like affirmations
Right.
basically, and also get around people or network with folks in the industry who are very kind-hearted, very knowledgeable, and don't mind kind of putting you in the loop as far as like who you need to connect with in the industry. Because I will say I have had my fair share of being around the folks that I consider kind of like the posers or the phonies, where it's kind of like, oh yeah, we'll put you on, but you gotta, pretty much do, I wouldn't say favors like that per se, but it's pretty much they want you to kiss their ass in order for them to, basically get in a certain position. But even then, they still want to put you on. So
Right.
I would just say, yeah, those things starting off.
Okay. Now, another question would be: what if someone asked you, "Do I have to go to college to become an actor?"
No, not at all. Because they actually have schools that just primarily focus on acting. Lee, she was kind of talking about that earlier because you did Motion Picture Institute, which is one of the schools that we have here in Michigan. And then there's a couple others. I'm trying to think of the other one. I think the Actors Loft is another one too, which is out in Royal Oak. So no, not necessarily going to college, but you can basically just do your research on the website and just look up schools who basically specialize in film and also specialize in acting, and just whatever you can register for, because they know not only necessarily just focus on acting, but they also focus on like editing and cinematography, writing. So whatever area that you want to mainly focus on and learn more information about it, they have it out there for you.
That's good.
I like that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So, how many films have you worked on altogether, whether it's short film? Has it mostly been short films?
Yes. So I started doing films, like short films, I would say, like, what was it, 2013, 2014. So the very first short film I did, called Happy to Be, which you can actually find on my YouTube page, was a selection for the 2014 Trinity International Film Festival, which is a festival that's held here in Michigan. So that was my very first one. Then I went on to do a lot of comedy skits that one of them, which is the most popular video on my YouTube page, called Thriller in the Hood, which is a parody of Michael Jackson's Thriller video. So if you ever get a chance to check it out, it was hilarious. We had a ball filming that, and it's definitely worth it. It's pretty much like a Detroit hood spin on Thriller in the Hood, or on Michael Jackson's Thriller. I'm saying the title of it, but yeah, it's over 46,000 views now. So, again, Ashley Kay is my YouTube channel. You can go check the video out there. But yeah, pretty much I primarily just done short films and comedy sketches, but I just completed writing a 10 episode soap opera series that I'm actually looking to have funding for right now, because that is going to be my next project.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot going on. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
So then the next question I would have to say is, when you meet with actors, how do you get them ready before they have to, before we call action?
So with me, I kind of have a process, and my process has been kind of different from every project that I've done. But I think with doing Forgive Us Now, which was the most recent project that I did, I think I found my formula finally, as far as how I can kind of shape and mold how the actor comes alive. And basically I use quite a bit of psychological information. So we kind of delved into like the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconsciousness of the character and how that applies through the story. We also talked about the whys. Why is your character behaving the way that they are behaving in this particular scene? Or why does your character have such a, difficult relationship with these people? Or do they think what you're doing is it's basically trying to open them up to the perspective that these are real human beings. And so it's a lot more than just saying your lines and throwing emotions on it. It's just like you literally have to take on the mental, the emotional, and even spiritual aspects of who these people are, so that when
method acting.
Yes.
Method acting. Yeah.
yes, in a way, yes. Yeah.
And then has it ever gotten to the point where you've actually had to counsel an actor because maybe they really went far mentally and they got into the character to the point where they almost like they had a breakdown?
No. So with this last project, the guy who does play the lead, Sharif, I had this thing where I constantly always prayed over my actors. I kept them in prayer because I know that experience as an actor where it's just like, if you're not careful with separating yourself from the character, it's easy to kind of go into that, especially when you deal with them for so long. He kind of opened up and said that, even after we were filming, he said he kind of had moments where he was kind of questioning his own spirituality in a way where it's just like, I don't know if I kind of agree, with the methods of this, that, and the third. He was disclosing that to a friend, but eventually he kind of started to get out of that and kind of go back to himself. But that's why for me, I always try to make it my business to make sure that I keep my actors in prayer, because I know how that can go. Unfortunately, Heath Ledger, that was a sad case. Rest in peace to him. But yeah, no, it's a definite, because I get it on both sides. So yeah.
Now, what is one project that you've not done that you would just love to work on if you had the opportunity to do it tomorrow?
Now, are you talking as far as like something that I would create, or just something that's kind of already out there?
Something that's already out there.
Well, This Is Us has already given up there, because I wanted to be on that show. I actually kind of wanted to be a writer for that show as well as perform on that. But I would say probably, if I could think of something right off the top of my head, I would say Power Book 2 Ghosts. I am a huge Power fan, so I'm all into that Power universe stuff. So yeah, definitely Power Book 2 if need be.
Okay. Nice.
I like that. I like that. It's not easy being a director, is it?
No, it is not, because it carries, it's a heavy responsibility, because you not only do you have to look out for your actors, but you also have to make sure whoever your cinematographer is, you guys are pretty much on the same page, and you guys understand each other. And that's why with the cinematographer that I have for Forgive Us Not, I'm pretty much taking him with me everywhere I go, Charles Kennedy, because literally it's
she gave me a shout out, Charles Kennedy. She gave me a shout out. What's up?
That's my brother, and I love him from another mother. And so he literally understood exactly what I wanted to have happen, and he basically enhanced the vision. So, and because I've worked with cinematographers before that, and that's not, to say that, they weren't great at their job, but it's one thing where a cinematographer understands and they're able to pretty much put the cherry on top to kind of make it even more than what you imagine or even anticipate. And that's basically what Charles is to me, and that's exactly why he's going to be working on this next project with me too.
And a lot of people, they mentioned that in film that you got to have a connection with your cinematographer, and you got to have a connection with if you're the director, but let's say you're not the writer, or if you're the director, you're the writer, but you got to have the connection with the cinematographer, and you got to have a connection, Lord have mercy, with even the cast members. But what about also, pausing on this one, because what about when you have to make sure those contracts are tight, Liz? You know what I'm talking about. When an actor, because you know how because I'm willing to be transparent on this one. There is a huge difference between the behind the scenes, the background extras, the extras. So have you ever had an actor who they were clearly signed up to be an extra, and then they want to ask you for more money?
No, thankfully I have not had to deal with that issue, even though I've seen it happen on other projects where I was either working behind the scenes on, or I was an actor, where it wasn't even just like necessarily money, but they were trying to get more camera time or trying to sneak their way in. Like, hey, I can do so lines. So how about you put me in? The director be looking at them like, no, like you're here to be an extra. And I think a lot of people kind of downplay being, extras or background, because first off, everybody has to start somewhere. I just saw a status like this posted the other day from a producer here in Michigan, basically saying like extras is pretty much where you start, and it's also a good place for you to network and connect and kind of see how everything works in the process of filming, because filming and stage are two totally completely different things. But
it is different.
Yeah, but as far as like,
and it's not to downplay the extras. We're not downplaying the extras. Yeah, the extras are very important, because true or false, extras are hard to find.
Absolutely,
they can be
missed.
I mean, I'll tell you this. Shout out to my girl over there in Michigan, because you know what? I know it seems for when I was there, I felt like actors were raining down from the skies. But in the state of Florida,
you're like, I mean, people want to buy
girl, some people would be non-union and demanding as ever, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, so wait a minute, let me try to absorb this. You got a non-union actor. Picture it. I'm gonna do like Sophia from Golden Girls. Picture it. You got a non-union actor.
Love it.
And then you send them an email and say, you know what? I like your look for a supporting role for this position that would make it would be a supporting role. And you tell them how much the supporting role they would get. They don't sign a talent release form. They don't sign a confidentiality agreement. They show up on set, right? They show up on set, and you're like, oh, I didn't expect you to be here. And then you say, well, what the heck, you're here, and you kind of needed an extra body. So then you give them you say, you know what? I'm gonna give you this opportunity, and I might throw you a little extra, which could mean $8 more. A little extra is not a number. It doesn't.
Right.
That's not a number. It's not a number. Hold on now. But then you proceed. I'm giving you the scenario because I want to see what you're gonna say. I just want to know, because us film directors, us filmmakers, we got a tough life. I love you. And so you come over here and they say, but I did the work. They say, well, I thought I was getting this much money. I'm like, you didn't sign an agreement saying that you was gonna get specifically anything. You didn't even sign the talent release form that said you was gonna do the background acting, which you didn't do. The amount that you're looking at is for the supporting role that you did not play. That's for a completely different role you did not play. You played this role, and it was just on the spot because you ended up not playing the behind the scenes role that you were supposed to play that you didn't sign for. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna be nice, and I'm gonna give you a different spot, and it would be a little bit more, but I didn't say how much. How much. Because, for a fact, in film, they have what it says, that background extras, they get paid at least on some productions, they'll be like, it'll be $8 per hour, sometimes $18 per hour, sometimes $20.
Some of them don't even get paid, depending on the budget.
Some of them
girl, get food and
so let's
IMDb credit. Yes.
Thank you, boo. Thank you. Now, so let's say you tell this male actor, say, listen, but you getting $20 per hour. But here's the thing. Y'all only shoot for 3 hours because everything gets done because the other scenes weren't able to get, shot because other actors didn't show up. You cannot do the other scenes unless the other actors show up. So therefore you have to change the whole schedule and you got to shorten the day. True or false?
Yeah, it's either shorten the schedule or shut down for that day. Yeah,
shorten the schedule. But then, if you can do some of the scenes, you still do those scenes, but you just got to alter it because the show must go on. Or especially with COVID, when you're working with COVID and you're working around that bull crap, you know what I'm saying? So then my question is this, long story short, let me quiet. What do you say? What would you say to him? He says, I want more. I thought I was getting this much more money. And he says to you, oh, I thought I would have to take you to small claims court. What would you say?
There's no proof. And like you said, unless it's written in the contract that I gave you saying that you were getting this X amount of money from me, that's the only way that you can prove it to me. And I've seen and heard this type of stuff happen to people before, which is why I always try to make it my business as somebody who owns a production company to make sure that I have statements that are written. And even if there are things that have to be updated, I'll make sure that it's updated. And I go over it with actors so that they completely understand exactly what they're getting themselves into and what, how they're being paid for it and compensated for it. So because again, this is why people, it's not just enough to be talented, but you also got to learn the business itself and how the business runs, because there's some people out there that really, they will screw you over if you completely just have absolutely no clue about how a contract runs or even language that's set up in the contract. If you don't understand what it means, thankfully my producer, who's like my sister, she basically she's worked for a law firm before. So when it's come to certain things like a sponsorship that I have going on now for additional funding for my series, I had questions where I was asking her, what does this mean? And what does that mean? Before I actually signed the contract, because if you don't know what you're signing up for or what you're signing away per se, then you're going to be the one that's screwed. So,
right. Or if the person doesn't sign anything to begin with, but you still wanted to work with them, they don't have any acting experience at all. They're non-union, but they're going to be that demanding? Who think you are?
I would laugh like,
girl,
go take an acting class first before you get to that part.
That's that part. I think in the state of Florida, it is difficult to find actors who understand and this is both this is mostly non-union. I think the non-union actors, it's very difficult to work with some people who have no experience or even experience in the state of Florida. Not all of them are difficult to work with. Hence, Lizzie, you've been amazing to work with. And Lizzie is a wonderful little lady. And she comes with big energy. Big energy. Yes, I said it. Big energy. Yes. Very easy to work with. She's reasonable to work with. She's a wonderful actress. Love her so much. And then I have a bunch of other actors that are amazing, girl. If you ever need certain looks, I shoot them in your direction. And especially if they're easy to work with, I'll shoot them in your direction. But if they are pain in the ass, I'm just gonna warn you right now. I'm like, nope, that's an X. Right. That's an X. That's what they did. That's what they did. That's what they said. Look what they did to me. Look what they did to your fellow director. Look, they done did that. Yeah. I kid you not. To work with extras down here it's not easy. No. For me as a film director, as a filmmaker, it's not easy. Not down here. I'm like this close to going to Michigan just to shoot some freaking scenes.
Hey, come on up, because I mean, people up here, they did. Some of them do treat extras now like they think they're actually going to be seen in the film, but I mean that's not a guarantee and a promise. But if you like to feel like that, then yes, great, come along. But we did run into the issue of with extras for the film that I just recently did for Forgive Us Not, only because of the COVID scare. But everything ended up working out in hindsight, because like you said, the show must go on. So it kind of went back to the original plan of how it was kind of written when I wrote it for the stage. So we pretty much went back to that, because I was going to expand and I was just going to have like this army of people, and it didn't work out like that thanks to COVID. But I mean, it still did what it was supposed to do.
That COVID though, it really can slow down production. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you stay tuning in, and don't forget to share this link, everybody. Share the link, share, so we can get people in here and pay attention to Miss Ashley K, what she got to say. Didn't mean to rhyme, but that's what I do all day. God bless it. I'm sorry. Let's check out her trailer before the commercial break too, y'all. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
They got the burn crosses on our lawn, lynch our men, rape our women, burn our babies alive, all while pledging their allegiance to the United States of America. I say to hell with America. And with the help of our ancestors here to guide us, we're gonna show that white devil what happens when you fuck with
How do you know this is what he wanted?
Brother Omar, answer me this. What made you join the underground Black Force?
You, Brother Sharif.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We hope that you all had a wonderful time looking at that trailer because it showed you the work and artistry of the director, Ashley King.
Yes.
Director and actress.
Every time I look at that trailer, it's like I get chills because I'm just like, oh, that is so damn good. Like
Goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, girl. That was beautifully done. I love it. I love the look. And it definitely gave me goosebumps. Liz, what you think?
I loved it. I got goosebumps from it too. That was awesome. I can't wait.
And is it available on Amazon?
It's SDM Flix, so it's a new streaming platform that is Detroit based. It's Black owned, but yes, SDM Flix, and I believe that if you do sign up, your first 7 days are free. Don't quote me on it, but I know it's free something. So yeah, and I think you can go visit it through my Instagram page too, either on my productions page, which is KAY Productions 88, or that's Ashley KAY on Instagram, and you'll see the tag of SDM Flix in there under the film for Forgive Us Not. And of course, shout out again to my brother Charles Kennedy, because he was the cinematographer. He also did the lighting and the editing for that as well too. So
Nice.
SDM Flix, like as in like the flicks, like film.
Yep.
Flicks.
So FLIX. So yep, SDM.
Okay, good. I got that right. I was like making sure I did that right now.
Yep. Spell with X. Yep. Exactly.
There you go, everybody. So check that out, SDM Flix. If you want to see this film called, help me, Brain
Forgive Us Not.
Forgive us not. I was gonna say forget me nots, but it's forgive me not.
My producer
Forgive
used
me
to
not.
say that when we were first like in production for it. She was like, "Yeah, forgive me not," and I'm like, "What?" And I said, "This is not Patrice Russian."
I know. Wrong one, Lee. And I love that cover. Now, who is the shout out to the artist who did the cover art? That was
Look,
beautiful.
that was my
Who's the
brother,
artist?
Charles. When I tell
No,
you,
he
like,
did that too.
I was using
Oh,
like
well,
that
shout
man
out to you. Oh my
very
God.
gifted at what he does, and that's exactly why I'm holding on to him as long as possible. So, like,
Yes.
yeah, like
You gotta
literally.
stick to what works. You gotta stick to who works, what works, all that stuff.
Exactly.
That right is. I love her
I
headset.
agree.
It's so cute. She kissed me with that headset. So, what advice do you have to besides like I mean, because you asked that good question earlier, but I have another question for you to give advice to other filmmakers. What is the most important thing when you're gonna work on a film project to start with first? They want to know: do you start with the script first, or do you go into contracts? You name the order.
So definitely for me, it's the script is definitely first and foremost, because it ain't no point of even trying to negotiate and tell people, oh, you finna get money for this, that, and the third. And they be like, okay, well, what's the project about? And you're like, I don't know, I haven't written it yet. So you gotta come with something concrete so that artists can see it visually and see if this is, a project that they even want to attach themselves to, because it's happened to me before, and I've had to quit a couple of projects where they were just like, oh, we want to pay you, blah blah blah, but some of it would kind of be a little sketchy, and I'm just like, well, can I read the script first, or I'll go to the first rehearsal. And rehearsal was one time outside this project I'm not gonna name. We were literally outside downtown Detroit, middle of nowhere, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, and so, I get the script. There's like a whole bunch of typos in the script. It was just, you could tell it wasn't proofread or anything like that. So I'm just like, I don't even think I can even stay aboard this project. But then person also lied about the amount that was being paid, and I said, yep, definitely not doing that. So before I would say, make sure you have the story written and that it's not just one draft, because great writers always rewrite. So with this soap opera that I just finished writing earlier this year, I did about 4 or 5 drafts, just now on the final draft of it. And ain't no telling, it might get some stuff might get switched around even when we do get it ready to start filming it. But
praise the Lord, thank you for speaking on it, Queen, because sometimes you could be during production and a scene has to be rewritten sometimes, and I would say that you know what I mean when I say, like, sometimes because a location is not available, so you have to kind of change, like work around it. Or sometimes it's because the let's say you have an actor or actress, doesn't matter, who is supposed to be on set, but then they don't show up. I think that the biggest thing would be if an actor doesn't show up on set, or actors don't show up on set. This is where you come in. Would you call them back to your production if they fail to attend set?
No. That I've had to actually, I fired people before, mainly because one of them had poor attendance during rehearsal, and so it was just like, it was always an excuse for why they couldn't come, or they can only stay for X amount of time. And at that point in time, I can already tell you don't want to be invested in this project. So why even waste my time or the production's time by keeping you around? So no, I will fire you. That's just simple as that. And if I even start to get the increment that a actor can't be trustworthy, then I will have somebody on backup just in case if that stuff does go down.
Man, I would love to have you. I would love to have you over here on this feature. She. Let me tell you something. Have you ever been tackled to the ground by an actor?
Mm-mm. They
Girl,
they know not to get close to me, okay?
are you supposed to touch the director?
And that, I mean, what do they need to touch the director for, though? Like, I mean, I'm not Michael Jackson or anything, but even still, like, we don't need to touch for no apparent reason unless I'm embracing you with a hug, you know. And that's very rare. I don't like a lot of people in my space, so no, don't be hugging me. But no, and I no.
You're gonna have so much fun watching the behind the scenes for my feature. You're gonna laugh your bahookies off. You're gonna laugh your ass off. You're gonna laugh. Girl, I got wrestled to the floor. Like I was like, listen, I'm in a dress, and I'm one of my own lead actors on my set, and I'm in a dress, girl, with the heels on, and I was just explaining that, you know, that I liked his look and that I could probably recycle him, because you know how you could recycle actors and put them again in another scene. I said, because you're not gonna see your face, you're gonna be wearing a helmet. Girl, I got tackled to the floor. He said, like this, and I'm like, no, don't that. And this was in front of my father, in front of everybody else, and my dress done went up, and I'm like, woo! It's a good thing I'm a martial artist, because I went and I caught myself really well. I caught myself. And it's like the moment I explained that I do martial arts, I grew up in martial arts and all that stuff. It's like some for some reason the guys want to challenge girl. Why do you want to challenge me?
Ooh, they sound
I was
like
just explaining what
you're like.
I
Baby.
love you.
This ain't
I need you.
I have a question for you, Ashley. I have a question for you. Okay, so my question for you is, when you do film, do you go for a certain height, or are you like, because for me, I'm 3'7", so it's hard for little people to find roles in film. So do you like allow anybody to audition for your roles, or do you have just a standard specific height?
So actually it depends. There are certain roles that I write, and I know for me, especially because I'm 5'5", so usually I would try to make sure that the guy is taller than me, because it's just so that it just,
5'4".
you know, yes. So, and I used to be 5'6", but then somehow I shrunk an inch. I don't know how that happened, the devil. But but it also depends. It really also can depend too on, you know, if you're your cinematographer, which with Forgive Us Not, Charles actually had where Sharif, the character, he's actually shorter than Omar. So, he brought in a great dynamic where he explained, like, with the history between like Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad, where Elijah Muhammad was this huge, powerful man, but he was super, super short, and Malcolm X was like maybe 6'2" or 6'3", and that actually kind of played well into that dynamic. So I honestly, it comes down to who your actors are in the scene, and also how well the cinematographer can kind of create that dimension of where the size just does not matter, and it really just comes down to the performance, and also with what angle the cinematographer is shooting at.
So what would you do?
Because what if your storyline don't really require, you know, a person that is shorter? Liz, don't shoot me. Because it depends on what story you're telling, right?
Yeah.
Also, doesn't that kind of depends? It just depends. It depends on the story. It depends on what the story calls for. And it's not to say that shorter people can't play lots of different roles, but again, it's what you said. It comes down to the cinematographer. If they can't create that dynamic, it's them. It ain't you. It's them, Liz.
Period.
Well, see, the only reason I brought that up was because LeeLee knows. So I was working with a talent agent who decided she would want me to go to auditions for people that were 5'4". You can't go to an audition if I'm not 5'4". But then she decided, you know what? I can no longer work with you. And it was her job to help me find work. Not only was I looking, but she was supposed to help me. And then it ended up, well, I can't help you. Now you need to think outside the box on your own. So I wrote a comic, a satirical, about my experiences as a little person trying to get into acting. Wow. I've had other talent agents get a hold of me, and we're upset that I wrote about what it's like for an actual little person to get into film. I was told I shouldn't do that because I was like, it's the truth, but I made fun of it because it's not as easy. Like agents think, oh, you just go to an audition. No, it doesn't work that way because they want specific looks. If you have no role for a little person, how are they supposed to go audition? I want a 5'4" redhead. I don't have red hair, and I'm not 5'4". You want me to show up? Unless you're like Martin Kleba or Peter Dinklage or something like that that's well known. I was told you have a better chance of jumping out a birthday cake than to be in the film. I'm like, really? You want me to make my own film? Okay. So she said, think outside the box, and I did. So
and
my
your own stuff, didn't you?
Yep. So that short audition.
Actually, you know she did. You know she did. She cooking up a storm in her little lab. Love you, big lab. You know what I'm saying? Love the big and Lizzie is my bestie. Like, you know, she's got a great, like, she knows how to laugh. She's heard a lot of in any joke anybody could throw at her, and you even challenged them, like, give me your best shot. I done heard it all.
Oh yeah, because I'll have people. yeah. Okay, so I will say, Ashley. Okay, let me tell her the latest joke. Okay, so
oh my god,
so this guy came up to me. Didn't know him from Adam. Like I was just going to mind my own business, checking my mail, and he came up to me and he said he had a joke for me.
Oh man!
So I gotta keep it PG-13. I gotta keep it. Yeah, I'll keep it clean. So, so he said, why can't a working little person work in a hotel, working street corner? Why can't they work? Do you know what the answer was?
What?
You get the short end of the stick.
That was,
and literally, and so I said, I'm sitting there like, that really that's what you. What am I supposed to?
And he came back for more.
Yeah, and then, yeah. So the next day, because I didn't laugh at that first joke, why can tall people sit on a bar stool? Do you know what? Do you know why tall people can sit on a bar stool?
What?
Because they can. Because little people can't. We have to climb. They can just sit. I'm like, okay.
That's so lame. That's
he
so lame.
Might want to stick to what he know, because obviously that ain't his lane.
But the thing is, I find it funny. It's like, tell me something I've never heard before. So jokes like that don't bother. But I'm like, that's not even a.
Yeah.
Where's the joke? Where is it?
His life. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ashley, you would have way too much fun with Liz. She is awesome. Like, you would just.
I can already tell.
She's the mom. I love her. I love her. And right now, I'm gonna extend my love to you, Ashley, because you rocking and you representing for us ladies in the industry. I don't mean to sound cliche, but a lot of these things is male dominated. And it's important for us to have lots of female directors, writers, and both people, female people who could direct and write, or write and direct, because we know it's in a certain order.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that you could do three things, which is acting, screenwriting, and directing. You representing for the multi-talented women, which is very, very important.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship. That's what I love.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels good.
I appreciate you just for reaching out to me to even be a part of this platform, because girl, you do it all too, child. I see you just sing, rap, and you just do it all. So I thank you to just even be here to just, you know, kick it with y'all and just have a good time and celebrate one another. Like, you both are amazing.
Thank you.
And this networking that we just did today, I had fun doing it because you also reminded me about some things I gotta go back on. I gotta go back to the drawing board and some of this stuff, because you know, like I told you, I'm in the middle of my first feature.
Yes.
I started in August of 2018 is when we did one scene.
Okay.
I was getting the rest of the actors and everybody else on board. I think the biggest issue, and it's okay, because I know if anybody wants to be nosy and see this is great, because then I know people are watching. But here's the thing, it's for experience wise, it was important for me to tackle this versus, like, because I had done short films for years, music videos, commercials for other people, and worked on other people's projects. I said, I need to take a step back and work on I even did a web series, an LGBT web series. I know you watching, you probably watching on there, but I worked on them on that web series. It was fun. It was an experience. There wasn't a physical script. I think it would have gone a lot. I know it would have been a lot better if we had a script. But
so just
it was more like
it was a reality TV show, then, kind of, in a way. Like,
no, it was supposed to be a script. It was lightly scripted. It was like on the spot scripted. Not me. It wasn't. I was not the director. I was just the cinematographer. As a cinematographer, I was kind of lost because I didn't know what I was filming.
Gotcha.
I'm like, well, what are we filming today? But I was told, I did it for another friend who was a model, and she's wonderful, and she's multi-talented too. And so I did it for her. That's another Capricorn love. Yes. And I did it for her. She says that she, to open other doors. I said, well, I don't know about it opening other doors, but it definitely was an experience. I took notes what not to do again, ever. But I also looked at what I needed to work on for myself.
Yeah. As
a businesswoman, as an artist, I did take something. I always like to take something positive out of any experience. Even if I do find myself sleeping on a dog bed. But anyways, I take a positive out of every experience. This is a real thing. People don't really think that we go through struggles. They think that it's like that we multimillionaires, that we have no struggles.
I mean, a million is coming, but we're still working on that.
No, we working. But why diss the process? Why diss the process? The process is supposed to be beautiful. We're supposed to get so much from our processes. Am I right, ladies?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, the process, don't rush the process. But I knew that I had to work on this my first feature, because I said, I almost had a few close death experiences. I knew that I had this waiting for me to work on. I wrote it back in 2011. This was back in 2011, 2012 is when I finished it. Even when I finished the script, I still have been going back on some scenes, because that's just what it is. It's sometimes it's like you catch things later that you're like, okay, hold up, wait a minute. And then you have to work around other actors. Liz knows what I'm talking about. I think that right there, this process is teaching me so much. It has been scary. I've had my anxiety level go up. Really? During my show? Really?
Yeah,
Come on, it.
Gotta look.
Really? Bad timing. Liz, that's the one with the bad timing. You know who that is. So anyways, but I hope that this is not the last time that you join us for the show, because we like to stay updated and to know what you're doing in your career.
Yes.
And some people try to downplay what you do, like say, "Oh, what do you mean? What career? What does she do?" I'm like, it's a career. She's devoting time, money, all blood, sweat, and tears, like what you just said earlier, into this. This is your career. They just a bunch of haters.
And like you said, and also too, as I continue to grow and develop as an artist, life experiences is definitely what makes your artistry even more in depth and even more phenomenal. Because, I don't experience some shit within the past 4-5 years. But the beauty about it is that I'm able to actually implement it into what I do creatively. So I commend you. Keep pushing, because at the end of the day, like, the more you keep working at it and the more that you keep growing and evolving, something has to stick. And that was just my personal trainer gave me that pep talk earlier this morning too. And I needed it, because it's like a lot of times people think that it's supposed to instantly happen, but sometimes you have to, there's pressure that happens where a diamond's created. And that's, I always hear it all the time from my apostle to other people who do, motivational speaking. It's just like pressure creates diamonds. So this is just the process of pressure.
Yeah, that's right. I like that.
For diamonds.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that a lot. Oh, please put that on a t-shirt.
Put
that on a t-shirt. I'll wear it. You put it on a t-shirt, I'm gonna wear that. I'll say this is from Ashley K line.
Yeah. But yes, I would.
Right, Lizzie?
Exactly.
Yes, and I think you have Facebook, don't you, Lizzie?
I do have Facebook.
Okay, so I'll definitely need to connect with you on Facebook too. So
yes.
Stay in the loop and all that other great stuff. But yes, I would love to come back on in the future for sure.
Yeah, I want to know more about Ashley K and what you're doing and everything. I was excited to meet you today.
Thank you.
Before we get ready to go, let everybody know again what is coming up, because don't you have some new projects coming up? If you have anything new, please let them know. Give it a shout out. You don't have to say it all, because I know how it is in film, true or false. We don't really release anything until the trailer comes out.
Yeah, depending on what it is, and depending on what you sign in the contract.
That part. Ashley K, could you I got a question. Could you please let everybody know? Anybody, y'all need to, back your girl up over here and let everybody know who had anything to say, and say things like, gee, why can't I post anything yet? What's the answer?
Because it's not in your contract. It's written that this is a non-disclosure, and that things that take place on set are to remain private, And I do see it's a trend now where, there are people who they'll go film scenes and then not have any sound and then post it to their IG, and they're just like, oh, look at this scene we just did. And I'm just like, oh, and I can kind of tell what the scene's about. And I'm just like, oh, so you're giving away.
Yeah, you're giving. They don't realize tell them. They don't realize they're giving it away. And the thing is that it's really, if that project really means that much to you, you should, then why not wait till you get the trailer done? Then you could release the trailer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, why not? Why are we seeing so many behind the scenes with people showing their makeup and all and a special effects makeup done?
Right. Or they had a real live chef on their set today cooking for them. It's just like it's the whole, like, they gotta feel like, oh, we've made it, and oh, we're so Hollywood because we have these things. And it's just like, okay, what's the point? Like,
right, exactly. They don't realize what they just took from the film. They took the mystery, they took the suspense. Now there's no suspense.
Like,
yeah. They don't get it. And then so again, because I know we want to wrap up, but also let people know, if they want to enter their film in film festivals, how do they start?
So there is a great website called Film Freeway where they give you a list of film festivals. They also give you the dates of when those film festivals take place, and also the entry fees for the film festivals and their deadlines. Some of them do have early bird specials, and there's regular deadlines, and there's late deadlines. So basically, Film Freeway is the website that you want to connect with if you want to get it in. And there's film festivals not just only in the United States that you can enter in, but also internationally, like in London. There's some in like China, I believe, and even Southeast Asia. It's all over the place. So
and
yeah.
should they be mindful which film festival they submit their project to, because they should be particular which film festival they submit it to. Yeah. Otherwise, it might not take that genre.
Yeah, and it could
look into that.
And sometimes, and I've kind of had to learn too, like sometimes your film might not get picked, not because it's not a great film, but there's also some politics that go along with some of these film festivals here. But yeah, so you definitely want to do your research about what the film festival particularly showcases and what they kind of are looking for, or else in some cases it is going to be a waste of your money. But yeah.
Okay, so I hope everybody took their notes and stay tuned, because in the future we're going to have some more Ashley K in the future.
Yes, we are.
I'm gonna chase you. Lizzie and I will both chase you down.
Yep. Because the next time we can finally talk about this soap opera series. So that's the next thing.
Well, I mean, like, so what about that soap opera series?
So the shade of it all. I just recently wrapped up a crowdfunding campaign for which, I mean, we did not meet the goal for the funding. However, there is sponsorship with an organization that I did gain, where we are now seeking donations from businesses, and the donations are tax deductible, by the way. But once we secure that, then basically it's 10 episodes. It's about a Black wealthy family and the fallout of the husband and the wife of that family, who basically are recently divorced, and then all these shady secrets start coming out, and it just affects everybody that is involved in it. And that's all I can tell. But
I like it so far. I love it.
Yes, I had a lot of fun. This was probably one of my favorite stories to write. So I can't wait for us to get down to filming it, and then because it'll definitely be going up on a couple of other streaming platforms as well. So I'm excited for it.
Wonderful.
We're excited for you, Miss Ashley K. You kick their ass. You put it all up in it.
Yeah.
Put their face all up in
it. You said what?
All right, I'm gonna quit my Raven Simone act, even though I don't mean to. We're just both Sagittarius, but and then so we already mentioned where you can find us. If anybody wants to be a guest or a sponsor to the show, don't forget to send us a message on Facebook Messenger at Flawless Dreams Radio, and we look forward to having you on our show, getting to know you, network. And for other people to get to know you and to see what you're up to, whether you're a musician, filmmaker, model, dancer, doesn't matter. We welcome you.
Nice to meet you, Ashley. I'm so excited.
Did we forget anything?
Yeah. And then, just remember, Forgive Us Now is playing on STM Flix, and it's also an official 2022 selection at the Detroit Black Film Festival, which takes place September 21st to the 25th at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American in Detroit.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ashley. We hope you had a great time, and join us next time. Yes. See you later, Miss Lizzie.
Bye, LeeLee.
It's never bye, it's ciao. So ciao to you all. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, FlawlessDreams. I love you, and many blessings.
writer and director Ashley K. What's up, everyone? This is your girl Ashley K-A-Y. Yeah, y'all, that's right, Ashley K K-A-Y.
Hey, freestyle, but I'm not a rapper.
Your plan from the start?
Don't put this off on me. You fired me, remember? Straight. It's like, for those brief moments in time, all my stress seems to go away.